Hey, Corey.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Thank you for doing this today, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
But how you finding the current situation that we're in, doing all these Zoom calls and all your album
It's
promotion via Zoom? How's it been?
it's different, it's kind of getting repetitive where I got to go up to my office and take a call from there instead of going to these places and meeting you guys. So it's a little bit different, but it's what we got to deal with right now.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks for the show that you did for us at Destination Country the other day because that was such a fantastic show, and we had an amazing reaction to that. It was
Oh,
probably the best
great!
reaction we've ever had to a show, to be quite
Wow, that's awesome, man. Well, you know what? Thank you for giving me the opportunity to perform for you guys, and of course, give myself an opportunity to play with my band again because it's been a few months. So it was nice to be able to perform with the band and make some noise.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that actually, because it must have been strange to actually get back together in a room at the same time after so many months away. Did it take some
Yeah,
time to get used to it again?
yeah, it was a little different, but we just got right back at it, and we all love doing it. So it was just nice to be able to get back together again
Yeah.
and play some music.
Well, you've got this new album, Who I Am. It's available now, and you did some songs from that the other day. And it's always important to make a good first impression with a debut album, and you've certainly done that, I think. So,
Thank
what
you.
did you kind of hope to achieve with this album, and what kind of message did you want to put across?
I think this album was just, is to give country music a whole different outlook, a whole different lane. Growing up on guys like Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, I have a great appreciation for country music and their roots, and but I've also grew up on some great rock and roll like Rush and Deep Purple and Grand Funk Railroad, and then eventually into heavier stuff like Ozzy Osbourne. So, I really just wanted to mix those genres together and really give country music a new sound, like I said, a new lane, um, and hopefully bring rock, country, and some metal fans together.
Yeah. You just mentioned Ozzy Osbourne, and your producer, Kevin Churko, has worked with Ozzy as well as the likes of Shania and Five Finger Death Punch. So tell us about
Hmm.
working with him and how his experience kind of elevated the sound of this record.
Well, I mean, he's great. There's no doubt about it. We both got along really well, both being drummers, but both having a great appreciation for country music, like Merle and Waylon, and Steve Earle, and into the rock genre too. So of course he knows all about that and knows how to make some hits. So it was very very easy to work with because I think we're both very similar in what we wanted to do with country music and what we want to do with the project. So it's a joy to work with him, and I'm extremely thankful that he believes in me, my music, and what we want to do. And it's great to have a producer like that.
Yeah. And a big favourite for me on the album personally is My Whiskey Your Wine because it's so traditional. It's got that real throwback vibe on an otherwise fairly heavy album. So tell us about how important it was for you to get a song like that on the record and show that completely different side to you.
Well, because country music's got such a different sound now, you don't hear that anymore all that much. Of course, there's guys like Chris Stapleton and Sturgill Simpson that are doing that as well. But it's just again a big Merle Haggard fan, and that's a song I wrote going into the studio one morning. I just was listening to Merle and thinking about the past, and I'm a whiskey drinker, and I know girls like their wine. I mean, I like wine too, but and I just thought of this story and kind of put it together quickly and went over it. I got a quick recording on my phone, and Kevin loved it too. So we just thought, if there's real country music fans out there, might hear some stuff like, keep doing what I do, and that kind of stuff, and say, well, this isn't country, but this is kind of our proof to say, well, no, it is country. It's a new country you guys haven't heard yet. But of course, stuff like Whiskey and Wine brings us back to Merle Haggard, Vince Gill, and good old boys like Waylon and Willie.
Absolutely. And tell us about working with Lzzy Hale as well from Halestorm on Out in the Rain, because I guess for you that must have been a cool opportunity and it's a real standout on the album as well. So
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, to work with someone as talented as her, and she actually, worked with one of my favorite artists a few years back in country music, Mr. Eric Church. So I've always been a fan of his songwriting, of course, his live show. So I've kind of, he was one of the first guys, in my opinion, to to change country music a little bit in this new age, where a lot of it's more pop. So, and Lzzy's just obviously just an incredible vocalist and a badass, and she just, I just think we sound so good together, and she was just such a great component to this song, and I think made the song just a whole lot better.
And you released a music video for that track not too long ago as well. Now, I speak to some artists and they absolutely hate doing the music videos. They're all about the music itself. But do you enjoy that process of bringing a song to life, I suppose?
Yeah, it's I've always been into acting too. Like I've always had an appreciation for it, and hopefully eventually, maybe getting a movie or something one day. So these are just small little ways to, like you said, bring these songs to life and give a vision, and sometimes give a total different direction to what you're hearing as opposed to what you're seeing. And I always like the process. Sometimes days can get a little long, but it's you're trying to create something great. So I always have a lot of fun shooting these.
Tell us about the idea behind that music video and kind of how you managed to fit it with the song and how that came about.
Pardon?
So tell us about the idea behind the music video for Out in the Rain and kind of how that fit with the song.
Well, I think just the struggle of relationships. There's ups and downs, and I wanted to create a story which was really my story a few years back, and it was something I went through personally. So I kind of wanted to kind of get more of a visual to this song, these lyrics, and I think it's pretty clear. But really, like Lzzy said, you don't know if they get back together or they break up or they just kind of weather the storm. So, and really, I think there's different outcomes. Some people can do it, make it work, or figure it out, and some they're just better off. Again, better off. No pun intended to the track on the record, but that's where that comes to. And Ed Regan, one of my best friends, and also just incredible talent behind the camera, who put this together and shot it. And it was fun to produce this with him and kind of create moments and stuff. And I give ideas, but he knows how to shoot it. So it was just it was cool to work with him on that kind of spectrum. But he was also, he saw me go through hell and back through this time in my life. So he kind of knew where we wanted to go with it.
Yeah. And in terms of single releases from the album as well, you've gone with Drive for the latest single. Why did that one feel like a good pick for the single? Because it's another one of my big favorites in the album. So.
I think it's one of those roll down your window, summertime, country, just vibes. It's I think it's a good feel good song. It's a good driving song, and there are songs on the record that are a little more rooted to, kind of what you're hearing on country radio now. So of course we want to get some country radio airplay too. I mean, that always helps, right? So, because stuff like Outlaws and, Blame It on the Double, where in my opinion, I think is a cool country twist or vibe, of course it's too rock for country. Or if you give something like Whiskey and Wine, let's say, it's too country for country, if that makes any sense. So you're always battling, but we were hoping and thinking that something with this kind of great production, I think it's a cool story, and then I think it's just a great country radio song.
Yeah, and you just mentioned the genres and talked a little bit about kind of where you fit. How has it been being a part of an independent rock label like Better Noise Music? Because you seem to be making waves in the rock world and the country world as well. So how helpful have those guys been in terms of kind of placing you into both genres?
Oh, they're the best. First of all, just when Nashville shut their doors to this sound, it was amazing to have New York open theirs. And like you said, be it a rock radio and want me to be a flagship artist. They saw what we had in mind and where we were going with it, and the change that country music needs too. And the cool thing, I mean, they have just an incredible team there. It's great to work with them day in, day out. But they also gave Kevin and I the opportunity just to basically do what we want. They liked what they were hearing, and they wanted us to keep doing what we do. Another album reference, of course, but it was just very lucky to be able to write my own music and create my own sound, of course, with Kevin and Kane, who's also a co-writer on this record. And it's just very nice to have a label, again, believe in what you're doing and like what you're doing, and really trying to push that out there.
And you're one of many Canadian artists at the moment that's really making waves in the country world. You've got the likes of Tennille smashing it, and Lzzy Hale's doing great things at the moment. That must give you a lot of confidence to see how your kind of homegrown artists are doing so well across the border.
I mean, and not only that, I mean, these two girls are very talented, and I think, especially someone like Tennille Towns, they're doing, you know, it's ironic that they both have the same name, because I've never heard those names before, right? Before these artists, and you know, I just think they're doing their own thing, and that's kind of what we're doing. It's a little bit different than what you're hearing out there. So, you know, kudos to them, and I hope, you know, I think they're doing a good thing, and it's awesome to see their success for sure.
And just finally, Cory, we mentioned the Destination Country show that you did for us. I wanted to speak to you about possible plans for the UK once we're out of this coronavirus hell.
I can't wait to get over to the UK, man. You know, you guys have been such a great support all over across in the country world, the rock world, you know, even the metal world over there. So it's been incredible, and you know, I can't wait to get over there and perform for you guys, and definitely get a tour going and make some noise over there.
Is it difficult to plan any touring at the moment? Have you got any kind of plans set in stone towards the end of the year, next year?
Nothing right now. I mean, I was supposed to be across the United States with 40-some dates with Breaking Benjamin too, with Alice Cooper, and more were coming in there too. But now with COVID and it being so crazy, it's kind of hard to tell. We got some ideas, but again, until it clears, we can't really. There's so much that goes into planning tours and getting things going. Like, you know, we're supposed to be in Australia October 4th, but you know, I would have liked to book my flights 2 weeks ago, but you know, to keep things a little cheaper when you're traveling with a whole crew. But you know, it looks like they're getting their second wave as well too, so it's really hard to kind of judge or decide what we want to do or what we should do. So right now I just leave that up to the agents.
Absolutely. Well, Cory, thanks so much for doing this today, man. I really appreciate your time, and like I say, fingers crossed that we can get you over to the UK as soon as possible. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, thanks for allowing me to perform for you guys at Destination Country, and can't wait to get over there to perform for you guys. And like I always say, be kind, be safe, and I hope we get to see you soon.
Amen to that, man. Well, thanks so much again, and we'll speak again soon, Cory. Thanks for your time, man.
You bet, brother. Thank you so much, man.